The fact that they didn't start renegotiating with Karrion Kross 3 months out tells you Hunter did not want him. It is perfectly clear.
Adding on, let's talk about man, there's some good. Let's see. Let's talk about Karrion Kross. Let's do this. Let's talk about Karrion Kross. Yeah. So he had 24 hours to respond to an offer once his contract expired. He said, I got the offer. I wanted to know how they came to the valuation of that offer. Just some information, metrics, analytics that supported, hey, is this how we got here? When I inquired about that, they weren't willing to provide that information and told me I had 24 hours to agree to the offer or they would rescind it. The next day, we talked. I asked if they had the information. They don't. I said, I can't make an informed decision without the information. I'd like to keep the dialogue open. They rescinded the offer. That's where we're at. Vince, I'm going to give this one to you. A couple of things that I'm thinking about this whole situation that I want you to tackle. One, Scarlett had no deal as well. Two, he said that he's still open to talk. Three, what's your take on people saying that this could be a work? So let's talk about those three things.
First of all, Chris, I was one of those people until he was on Ariel Helwani. Bro, Ariel Helwani's not going to make a wrestling angle and a joke out of his show. That's absolutely not going to happen because, first of all, if they were working him, you would never, ever, ever get another WWE guest on that show, and that show is way too valuable. And I think, Ariel is so credible, he's not going to use his show to shoot a wrestling angle. So as soon as I saw him on there, I'm like, okay, this is totally legit. Bro, I think the situation is crystal clear, Chris, and just give me a second to lay it out. I was told by somebody that works with Triple H, and I don't think it's a secret to anybody, the approval of the internet wrestling community is everything to him. He wants their approval. He wants to be loved by them. He wants to be their God. Okay? So what happened about 6 months ago with R-Truth? He released R-Truth. And the pushback from the internet wrestling community was so overwhelming. What did he do? He brought R-Truth back for no reason whatsoever because now we see them doing nothing with R-Truth.
No.
Okay. Bro, we saw the outpour for Karrion Kross. Triple H was not going to make that same mistake again. Now, Chris, EC3 will tell you, if they want a talent, Chris, and they know a talent's contract is up, bro, you start renegotiating that deal 6 months out. You start renegotiating that deal 3 months out. The fact that they didn't start renegotiating with Karrion Kross 3 months out tells you Hunter did not want him. It is perfectly clear. So what does Hunter do? At the 12th hour, he makes an offer. So the beloved internet wrestling community knows I made him an offer. We made him an offer. We wanted him here. But the second Kross asked a legitimate question, how do you get to this? That's it. Offer off the table. I mean, bro, that's exactly what took place here. Exactly. Because, bro, they wanted that guy. They're negotiating 6 months out, at least 3 months out, not 3 days before. Yeah. It doesn't happen that way, bro.
Yeah. EC3, picture this. There's a talent competition that's a very reputable talent competition. And the executives, very popular talent competition, the executives say, hey, fans, we want you to vote on the person who has the best talent, who you like the most out of this talent competition. So they vote clear-cut number one, and they do the announcement, and they say, thank you for your vote, fans. And an overwhelming majority, the winner is this person.
What?
but we're going to give it to third place, ladies and gentlemen. And it's like, huh? Like we're voting for this person to win the competition. We've made it very clear, and it just throws the whole reputation away if you're giving it to third place. You feel like that a lot when it comes to the WWE in many ways, especially when it comes to Kross, who's been money, who is money, who will be money outside of WWE. Fans made it clear on a platter that we want this guy to be a top guy.
Yeah.
You say
no yeet.
That's exactly what you say. You say no yeets to we want this guy to be a top guy, handing him to you on a platter. And they say no yeet. Not only do they say no yeets, they lowball him and refuse to bring his wife back or at least do a deal with her. Like, how does that make logical business sense, EC3?
It doesn't if it mattered. So it's such a set business and industry and everything signed, sealed, and delivered that this won't upset the business, right? So if it was a different scenario where it was like two high-profile teams courting and like he's a talent, very good talent that can move a needle, you know, push you to victory, you don't have this situation. So it doesn't make sense. But at the same time, I really wonder what happened because when he came in NXT, like he was right to the moon. And dude, I love this guy because this is exactly what I would have done. Is anytime, and Vince will tell you, you show as a professional wrestler that you are a professional with a capable working mind, and you ask legitimate business questions with like legitimate statistics or numbers, or you're asking that question not because you really want to know, you want to see if they would even humor it or try. And I've pulled this before in multiple facets in different places and different times where you're asking legitimate business questions as a business professional would, but we're not in a real business. We're in pro wrestling. So you don't get the answers. And it's more of like a brain FU to who you're asking than it is a legitimate seeking of the knowledge, because it will just prove your point that they're not capable of treating people professionally often, if that makes sense. Like the questions, like, well, how did you exactly get to this? It's like they saw that and went, this guy, you know, or like, oh, we don't know. Like I just recently did this a few months ago, just because I knew, like, here's some legitimate questions I have about legitimate things. If I'm a legitimate business person, never. I wonder if they even read them, you know, or they saw question 1 through 3 and they're like, okay. And it wasn't something that I was going to do anyways, but I just wanted to see how are we legitimate professionals here, or is everything bullshit? Okay, sorry, but everything's bullshit. I'll play that game too. That's fine.